Hey besties, welcome back to my chronically cozy life and season 2 of my podcast series, Cozy Chats, where we talk about building a life and a business with a chronic illness and a neurodivergent brain. Today's guest is Jessie Myers, an artist creating pet portraits and other fun stickers, accessories, and other things, and I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I'm sorry we had to reschedule a couple times, but hey, that's how it
Oh my
goes,
gosh,
right?
yeah, right? It just happens, like, you're not the first.
Well, no, I mean, we're chronically ill. So it's like you kind of have to be half prepared for like, is this happening today? I don't know. We'll find out because
Yeah,
you just never know.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, everything I do is based around the flexibility of it all, so, like, I have backup plans on backup plans, and
Exactly.
honestly, for the most part, I'm just at home, so, like, if you cancel on me, that's cool, I'm gonna go have a nap.
Right, exactly. Oh, good. I can have more rest time. Perfect.
Exactly. I think it ended up working out that, like, I wasn't feeling tops that day too, and then when you canceled, it was kinda like one of those, like, "Okay, well, I'm just
Right?
gonna push through, but now I don't have to, like, cool."
Exactly. Exactly. So, hey, the universe, it lined it all up for us. It worked out great.
Right? That's how it was supposed to be.
I
That's
love that.
exactly it. Yeah. So tell me about your chronic illness journey into entrepreneurship.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So
Yeah, right? It's like it's the extra journey.
where do I start? It's like I'm trying to decide, do I go backward? Like, do I start from now and work backwards, or do I go the other way? I think I'm gonna go the other way. Okay.
Which
So
whichever.
I've had issues with chronic illness my whole life in different ways. Even when I was a small kid, like if I ran too hard in gym class, I would end up in the nurse's office or go home because I felt so sick, or during the summer, if it was really hot, I would struggle. Throughout my teens and early 20s, I had lots of blacking out, just random ER visits because we couldn't figure out what was going on and always poo-pooed off, nothing really serious
Mhm.
with it. Um, and so I've had a job since I was like 14 years old. I've always been working. And so I would just work through everything. I thought I was a normal functioning person. And then I got really sick in my mid 20s. It hit me really hard where I was disabled at the time. I couldn't work for a good couple years. And the doctors at the time were saying, "Oh, this is migraine related." And I was like, okay. And so they were throwing all sorts of migraine meds at me and I was getting sicker. And so right. And so eventually I got off the medication, I changed my life and just kind of did things I needed to do to get better. And slowly I got better. I got back into the work world. I was doing social work for a while. Then I went to doing preschool. And then
Nice.
this past spring, wham, I got hit real
Mm.
hard. Literally went to bed with a migraine, woke up unable to move. And so
Um,
I've had to leave my career. Obviously, I can't be a preschool
yeah.
teacher running around with a bunch of toddlers. That's never going
Yeah,
to
right.
happen.
Yeah.
And so, for me, as I stated before, always being someone who's worked, it is hard for me to not have something to do.
Mhm.
So after I got sick this spring and I got a little bit better into the summer, I was like, I really want to be doing something. And I've always been an artist, uh, ever since I was little. And from there, it just kind of progressed into, well, I really would love to make stuff that is geared towards people who struggle with chronic illness. And then
Yeah.
from there, it was like, oh, you know what? I know how much people love their pets, and I did that painting for my mother-in-law that one time. Maybe I wonder if people would pay for pet portraits, and by golly, do they ever. And, so, like, that's kinda been okay, like, my husband's able to support me, and he is so wonderful. He is 100% behind me and doing all the things I
Good.
need to get out there, do the fairs, whatever. I know. amazing, and,
Cheers. Yeah, yeah. Give like all the snaps to the
well,
good husbands. I
I
got one of
praise
those too, and they don't get enough
they don't,
credit
and I praise him whenever I can because I know there's so
all
many
the
partners out
time.
there that don't understand or, they
Yes.
just don't want to, and, when
Yeah.
you have a good partner, when you live the kinda lifestyle we live, it makes all the difference in the world.
All the difference.
It
I couldn't
really
without
does.
him.
So, yeah,
I
that's how
couldn't.
the whole artist thing kinda came about. Never in my life
Yes.
did I think, I'm gonna be a businesswoman." I always had the mindset like, "No, you need to come from money to be able to do that. No, you need to have the right people in your circle to do
Mm,
that. No, you have to" whatever.
yeah.
That's not true. That's not true,
No.
and I was just intimidating myself, and, I'm not saying it's easy peasy because it's not,
Yeah.
but it's possible, and it's nice
Yeah.
to be out of that 9 to 5. It's nice to be out of
Yes.
having someone, breathing down my neck, "How are you feeling today?" Like, I do what
Oh,
I
I
want
hate
when I
those.
can, and,
Yeah.
that's so crucial for people in our situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I always say, like, my big motivator is just, like, not having to call in sick to
Yes.
someone ever again.
Yes, that
Please,
was
like,
the biggest
never
thing for me. I hated calling out.
just
The guilt.
and, like having to explain, "Yes,
I'm
I
sick
am
again.
sick again," but, like, also just still
Still.
it's just still
It never
I'm
ended.
just always it's just worse today, and, like, 'cause,
Yeah,
they don't understand that,
yeah,
especially, like, the dynamic disabilities like that, like, I had some days where, like, I couldn't get out of bed, and then some
yeah,
days where I appeared fine. It was
yeah.
never all fine, but I appeared fine,
Mhm.
and those were, like nobody ever understood.
No, and they can't, and the thing is, like, I've noticed with some people, even when you take the time to fully explain to them, like, "Hey, it
Mm,
feels like someone's literally going like this on my spine," or,
yeah,
"Hey, it feels like someone's stabbing me in the elbow." They
yeah.
just look at me like, "Really?"
They think
Like,
you're
they look at you,
exaggerating
"Really?
or
Because you're not there to
yeah,
what if I were doing that,
yeah.
I'd be doing it all day, and that's not socially acceptable, and it's exhausting."
Yeah, besties, welcome to or welcome back to my chronically cozy life and season 2 of my podcast series, Cozy Chats, where we talk about building a life and a business with a chronic illness and a neurodivergent brain. Today's guest is Jessie Myers, an artist creating pet portraits and other fun stickers, accessories, and other things. And I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I'm sorry we had to reschedule a couple times, but hey, that's how it
Oh my
goes.
gosh, yeah, right? It just happens like you're not the first.
Well, no, I mean, we're chronically ill. So it's like you kind of have to be half prepared for like, is this happening today? I don't know. We'll find out because
Yeah,
you just never know.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, everything I do is based around the flexibility of it all, so, like, I have backup plans on backup plans, and
Exactly.
honestly, for the most part, I'm just at home, so, like, if you cancel on me, that's cool, I'm gonna go have a nap.
Right, exactly. Oh, good. I can have more rest time. Perfect.
Exactly. I think it ended up working out that, like, I wasn't feeling tops that day too, and then when you canceled, it was kinda like one of those, like, "Okay, well, I was
Right?
gonna push through, but now I don't have to, like, cool."
Exactly. Exactly. So, hey, the universe, it lined it all up for us. It worked out great.
Right? That's how it was supposed to be.
I
That's
love that.
exactly it. Yeah. So tell me about your chronic illness journey into entrepreneurship.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So
Yeah,
I'm
right? It's like it's the extra journey.
where do I start? It's like I'm trying to decide, do I go backward? Like, do I start from now and work backwards, or do I go the other way? I think I'm gonna go the other way. Okay,
Which
so
whichever.
I've had issues with chronic illness my whole life in different ways. Even when I was a small kid, like if I ran too hard in gym class, I would end up in the nurse's office or go home because I felt so sick, or during the summer, if it was really hot, I would struggle. Throughout my teens and early 20s, I had lots of blacking out, just random ER visits because we couldn't figure out what was going on. And always poo-pooed off, nothing really serious came of it. Um, and so I've had a job since I was like 14 years old. I've always been working. And so I would just work work through everything. I thought I was a normal functioning person. And then I got really sick in my mid-20s. It hit me really hard where I was disabled at the time. I couldn't work for a good couple years. And the doctors at the time were saying, "Oh, this is migraine related." And I was like, "Okay." And so they were throwing all sorts of migraine meds at me and I was getting sicker. And so right. And so eventually I got off the medication, I changed my life and just kind of did things I need to do to get better. And slowly I got better. I got back into the work world. I was doing social work for a while. Then I went to doing preschool. And then this past spring, wham, I got hit real hard. Literally went to bed with a migraine, woke up unable to move. And so I've had to leave my career. Obviously, I can't be a preschool teacher running around with a bunch of toddlers. That's never going to happen. And so, for me, as I stated before, always being someone who's worked, it is hard for me to not have something to do. So after I got sick this spring and I got a little bit better into the summer, I was like, I really want to be doing something. And I've always been an artist, uh, ever since I was little. And from there, it just kind of progressed into, well, I really would love to make stuff that is geared towards people who struggle with chronic illness. And then from there, it was like, oh, you know what? I know how much people love their pets. And I did that painting for my mother-in-law that one time. Maybe I wonder if people would pay for pet portraits. And by golly, do they ever. And so like that's kind of been okay, like my husband's able to support me and he is so wonderful. He is 100% behind me and doing all the things I need to get out there, do the fairs, whatever. I know, amazing. And
Cheers. Yeah, yeah. Give like all the snaps to the
well,
good husbands. I
I
got one
praise
of those too, and they don't get enough
they
credit
don't, and I praise him whenever I can because I know there's so
all
many
the
partners
time.
out there that don't understand or they just don't want to. And when
Yeah,
you have a good partner, when you live the kind of lifestyle we live, it makes all the difference in the world.
all the difference.
It
I couldn't
really
without
does.
him.
So yeah,
I
that's how
couldn't.
the whole artist thing kind of came about. Never in my life did I think I'm going to be a businesswoman. I always had the mindset like, no, you need to come from money to be able to do that. No, you need to have the right people in your circle to do that. No, you have to whatever. That's not true. That's not
No.
true. And I was just intimidating myself. And I'm not saying it's easy peasy because it's not, but it's possible. And it's nice to be out of that 9 to 5. It's nice to be out of having someone, breathing down my neck. How are you feeling today? Like I do what
Oh,
I
I
want
hate
when I
those.
can. And
Yeah.
that's so crucial for people in our situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I always say, like, my big motivator is just, like, not having to call in sick to someone ever again.
Yes, that
Please,
was
like,
the biggest
never
thing for me. I hated calling out. The guilt.
and, like, having to explain, "Yes,
I'm sick
I am
again.
sick again," but, like, also just still
Still.
it's just still
It never
I'm
ended.
just always it's just worse today, and, like, 'cause,
Yeah,
they don't understand that,
yeah.
especially, like, the dynamic disabilities like that, like, I had some days where, like, I couldn't get out of bed, and then some days where I appeared fine. It was never all fine, but I appeared fine, and those were, like nobody ever understood.
No, and they can't. And the thing is, like, I've noticed with some people, even when you take the time to fully explain to them, like, hey, it feels like someone's literally going like this on my spine, or
Yeah,
hey, it feels like someone's stabbing me in the elbow. They
yeah.
just look at me like, really?
They think
Like they
you're
look at you,
exaggerating
really?
or
Because you're just,
yeah,
because if I were doing that,
yeah,
I'd be doing it all day. And that's not socially acceptable and is exhausting
yeah.
also.
Like,
So
"I'm sorry, do you want me to look in pain? It's gonna get really annoying really fast."
amen to that.
I could show you how much pain I'm in because I will be in tears and on the
Yeah.
floor, I am pushing through. And just, like, if you haven't done it, you don't know it's possible, and I get that, like, I understand. but, like, just, like, whatever happened to, like, the benefit of the doubt? Whatever happened to people just being like, "Oh, you're saying this? This is your truth? Okay."
Because there's
And
such
just
a
going
big
with it.
fear and stigma of being lazy, right? And especially people really quickly wanna point the finger at people and be like, "Well, they're just being lazy." And it's like,
Yeah.
it's easy for you to say that's what's happening.
Yeah.
It's so easy for you to say because you don't wake up feeling the way I feel every day.
Yeah. You didn't have to take a break after a shower or 3 days off because you decided to socialize.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep, and that's it too, some people will say, "Well, you're not working, but, like, you've been doing things this summer, like, you've been fine." You have no idea
Yeah.
the aftermath that comes with that. I went to
Yeah.
a concert in August, and mind you, that day, I rested all up until it's time to go to the concert. I used my wheelchair that day. I made sure I ate good foods. I stayed hydrated. I did the liquid IV. I did all the things right, and at the end of the night, simply because I was up too late and sitting in a chair for too long, the night resulted in me vomiting and having muscle spasms and being in significant pain. You know what I mean? And it's like, who's
Yeah.
to predict that? No one can predict that. It just is. And that is what
Yeah.
we have to budget and be prepared for. Like, oh, okay, I really want to go do this thing, but what are my consequences?
Yeah. And just, like, let's talk for a minute about the amount of effort that goes into doing all the things right. Like, when you're just healthy and you, like, sorta eat well and sorta drink your water, you feel great, and when you're not, you have to do every step perfectly, and it can still totally fail.
Yeah, and it really just depends on how you're feeling.
Yeah,
Like, you could have this great plan, like, oh, you know what? For lunch, I'm gonna make myself a great salad with chicken. Da, 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 da. And come
yeah,
lunchtime, maybe you vacuumed that morning and now all of a sudden you've got nothing left. So you're like, I am going to open a can of SpaghettiOs and call it good. We're doing what do I need? My body needs fuel and I need to rest at the same time. So like, let's get this done?
yeah, yeah. The amount of meal plans ruined because I did other things that day, like, I
Yeah.
had a great meal plan, and then it was frozen pizza.
Well, my husband and I just had this conversation recently because he's very much a doer. He's like, he's got his list, it's da 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 da, da, and he's very scheduled. And I am very much the opposite, always have been, and especially now that I'm sick as I am, it's super loosey goosey. So like for him, it was getting difficult of like, like I just came down to get a snack and the kitchen counter is covered with dishes. And, in my head, I'm like, okay, it really doesn't need to be cleaned up until we're ready to make dinner. So like if you can trust that I will get to it when I am able to, like finding that balance, that's hard too.
The home balance is hard, and, like, for me and my husband, like, he works full-time out of the house, and I'm in the house full-time, so, like, I'm happy to take on the responsibility of the house. Like, that is my stuff. I do the laundry, I do the cleaning and stuff like that, and I don't expect him to, like, jump up and do all of it. But, like, at the same time, we have, like, a good understanding that, like, sometimes things are not gonna get done. Some days are shittier than others, so
And that's why
nothing got done.
communication is so important.
So
Just that honesty of
so
like,
important.
"Hey,
Yeah,
today is Wednesday. I was really hoping blah, blah, blah could get done today. Hey, I will get to that, but these other 2 are questionable because my energy level is whatever." Like,
yeah,
just talk about
yeah.
it.
He never, like he doesn't have expectations of what's going to be done. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm probably, like, the tidier one in the house, like, and especially because I am home, like, I'm the kind of person that's, like, messy space, messy mind kinda
Yeah.
person. So, I can't deal, I clean often. But, like, yeah, so he just doesn't hold expectations, and that's always kinda nice, and, like, if he wants it done, he's gonna do it, and it's always been a really easy one. I mean, we do have, like, our few things that, like, he'll leave around or I'll leave around and, like, our habits that. we'll bicker on every once in a while, right? But, like, for the most part, we've always had such a good balance of that, and I really yeah, and I know some people don't. Some people really struggle with that,
Well, for
and I
us, it's been
just
adjusting because for the first part of our relationship, I was healthy enough that I could contribute quite a bit, and like,
yeah,
he had his designated task, I had my designated task, but now
yeah,
with my illness being as severe as it is, like scooping cat boxes, I can't do that anymore. He has to do that.
yeah,
A lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to the laundry, I can't do that anymore. He has to do that.
yeah,
A lot of things have changed. So that dynamic of understanding, okay, he's also the only one working right now. Um,
yeah,
so what can I do to contribute without hurting myself
yeah.
too much?
Yeah, I try not to ask him for a lot because he's at work for 8 hours a day, and I am here in my cozy little office, and I'm working,
Yeah,
but, like,
it
I'm
looks
a lot
so different.
comfier.
Yeah,
And and I mean, like, even as hard as I'm working and, like, as much as, like, you know, my level of work will have, like, this level of effect on me versus, like, his, kind
yeah.
of but, like, being at home in itself just takes so much of that, like, extra stress off of, like, having, like, people to deal with and things like that, that I feel so grateful for that one because, like, if I had to have the energy to be up and standing and moving and social all day.
No way. Yeah, I know, and I think about that too. Like, I think like, I was a preschool teacher, and then before that, I was a
Yeah.
social
Oh,
worker. I would go into people's homes and just talk with strangers
yeah.
for, an hour at a time and then get in the
Yeah.
car and do it again, and, like, I look back on that now, I'm like, "How on earth did I ev" and I would see, like, 5
Yeah.
people in one day. How did I ever do that? I don't know.
It's so crazy to look back sometimes and you're like, "Was that really me? Like, was that a dream phase or something? What was
Like,
happening
it's
there?"
like I was in hyperdrive, like, and I think about it now, and, like, a lot of my chronic health issues are related to a lot of my emotional and mental health journey as well, right?
Yeah.
So, I have found these things, they kinda correlate a lot, you know what I mean? I was going somewhere with that, I kinda forgot. There's the brain fog, right?
It always happens.
It's
People
alright, if it's
always
important,
get
it'll come
you.
back.
That's exactly it. No, I think back sometimes to, like, my college days when, like, I had chronic pain, but it was still just in the point where, like, I just labeled it as I had chronic pain, and so, like, I was working through it and everything, but, like, I got up and went to the gym, and then I went to school, and then I did my studying, and then I still socialized, and now I'm like, I get up and I clean my house, and I'm like, "Oh, I need a nap."
Mhm,
Um, I
mhm.
have, like, one conversation, and I'm
And
like, "That's
so
enough for me, thank you. I can't do anything else today." Like
yeah, yeah, I remember where I was going with this now. So, basically just the energy it takes, right? And I think in that time for me when I was able to perform, do those things, work, 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 I think that was my mental health kinda going into overdrive, and, like, I was doing, like, perfectionism, like the overachiever type bit, you know what I mean? And I think that's what really drove me, and then as things kinda started changing in my life, my mental health shifted, and then that's when my physical health shifted, which was really wild.
mental health and physical health, they play such a role together, and it's one of those things, like, I really want people to understand that they play a role together, but also sometimes people seem to have too much of an understanding on it to the point where they blame one for the other, and it's like, "No, no, no. They just work together.
Right,
They
right. It's
just
one of those
they"
things where
Yeah.
they
Like,
feed off each other.
show me a chronically ill person who's mentally well and not
Right.
anxious,
Well, and right,
right?
and it's this
Like
thing where it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg, right? Because you're chronically ill, you feel like crap, you can't do the things you used to do. Obviously, that's gonna come with natural isolation. Yup,
yeah,
that's gonna mess with your mental health, absolutely. But then on the flip side, there are so many studies out there showing that people have dealt with chronic stress and traumatic things
yeah,
have it all stored up in their nervous system, and then it sabotages their body later in life, and I really believe
Yeah.
that's part of my story.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Yeah. I've heard several people, and like so many women, so many women have experienced this, that level of like either like being an overachiever, perfectionist, people pleaser, and just like taking on so many different things and all of that extra stress. And now all of a sudden we have autoimmune issues and like
Sure.
chronic issues and can't sleep and can't eat. Like, where did this come from? And like, it happens to so many of us. And I don't think that there is enough understanding of it.
No, there really
We're
is.
getting there,
We are
but
getting
not yet.
closer. We are getting
We're getting
closer,
closer.
and this is why, like, on every social platform I'm on, I preach it through and through because, like,
Yeah,
like, I have a pretty good, gathering on TikTok. I use that quite a bit, and,
good.
there's some people on there that are like, "Oh, yeah, I'm studying to be a nurse," and I'm like, "Listen up," and I really just kinda let them know, like, "Hey, there's people out there like me who are struggling and they need to be seen, and if you can be that one person that sees them,
Yeah,
bless you. Please be that
yeah,
person."
yeah. Oh, when you find a doctor that just like listens and actually understands.
The unicorn doctor? I know.
I found a unicorn doctor recently, and like she has her moments of being like pretty classic. And like I went in there because I have fast heart rate, just always had a fast heart rate. And she was like, "Have you considered that it might be anxiety?" And I was like, "Okay, you were so good until you said that." I shut her down on it, and then she was like, "Okay, let's then explore and talk to a cardiologist." And I was like, "Okay, so that is the proper follow-up," because, like, the amount of doctors that have been like, "Have you considered that it's anxiety?" and then not followed up with a mental health treatment?
Mm. Oh, I know,
That one will
they'll
never.
nothing for it.
"Are you just depressed?" And I'm like, "Maybe." And they're like, "Cool,
Exact
you should try and be happier. Have you considered being happier?" I'm like, "I considered."
You should try reducing
Yeah.
your stress. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Because that's so
Yeah.
easy for anybody to do. Just reduce your stress.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Well,
have
and
you
that's
ever
the
tried to
thing.
explain to somebody, like, the chance of being not stressed when you wake up every day not knowing how you're gonna feel, whether you're gonna be able to function or not, whether you're gonna be able to do the things that you have planned, whether you're gonna be a functional person? Try being not stressed.
No, it's so true. It's so true. And I mean, this is absolutely an epidemic that's happening right now, especially to young women where they're having these symptoms that no one can quite explain. And like you were saying, having that doctor who will at least hear you and validate you and not go down that rabbit hole. And, if you do say, I'm not okay with that. Okay, switching gears and they come back to listen to you. That's what you need. You don't need perfection, but you need cooperation.
Yeah.
And I do love my new PCP that I have now, she's wonderful.
Good.
But, I wonder with how many times I went to the ER, how many doctor's visits I had, how many years I wasted treating the wrong thing, how badly did I exacerbate my condition because I was unaware of it, because no one treated me properly, because they said, "You're dehydrated," or "You're anxious," or whatever.
Yeah.
"Are you on your menstrual cycle? Are you stressed in your life right now?" Whatever the stupidity was, they neglected me, and now I'm ill to the point that I can't work, like, where's the justice in that? Who wins here? No one. Yeah.
Like, then on top of, like, trying to do all the things correctly and take care of our symptoms, we have to become our own doctors,
And our
and we
own
get shit
advocate.
for that too. Like, we learn something about ourselves and we go and, find our own diagnoses, and we get shit for that too. Like,
Yes, because if you go in knowing too much, they almost get irritated with you, and they don't
they
want you to do
do.
that because then you're
Yeah.
gonna make them do their job, you know? And that's so frustrating. I know that the route that I've taken medically, it's only gone the way it's gone because of my own research and because of talking to other people who have gone through it, not because of my doctor's guidance. That was
Same.
me. And that
Yeah.
that's it's already so hard to be chronically ill, and then we have to study and understand all these things so that we can teach our doctor how to treat us. Like, doesn't that seem a little backwards?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, like, my doctor at this point is, for occasional blood tests and the prescriptions that, like, I think, like, I pretty much ask her for. Like
And the referrals, right?
yeah, pretty much. The referrals, the prescriptions, and the blood tests. Other than that, like, I mean, they're probably just gonna tell you to try exercise and eat right and get more sleep anyways. And, yes, it can help, but
Yeah,
man, if they
but
could understand just how difficult that frickin' is.
and knowing where's the limit, and is today the day where it's gonna make me feel good, or is today the day where it's gonna make me
Yeah.
in agony? Because I tell you what, I used to be someone who, could get massages. I loved massages. They were, like, really good to help loosen me up. Not anymore. The last massage I got tore me up. Like, I was
Me
in
too.
agony. And then, I used to be an avid stretcher. Last time I did a good stretch routine, the next day I was in agony because I overdid it. And I'm like, so, like, I'm still trying to figure out where my limits are, and it's hard because, like,
Yeah,
I'm thinking, "Dang, I'm
because they
only
change.
37. I should be able to do these things," you know?
Yeah, right? No, it's so frustrating, and I'm so exhausted with it all. Like, honestly, I should have just become a doctor in the amount of time it took anybody to give me a proper diagnosis, and then I'm still stuck trying to figure out all of the extra comorbidities to go along with it. And then, like, I had this conversation with my doctor the other day. She gives me, talking about diet stuff, and I was telling her about how difficult it is for me to eat because of my ADHD
Yes.
and finding things that I like and because I'm having stomach issues, and so she's setting me up with, like, getting the what gastro whatever tests.
Gastroenterologist. Yeah.
Yes, the gastrologist, so she's setting me up with them, and then starts talking to me about, like, the Mediterranean diet to, like, lower my cholesterol or something. I'm like, "Did you not just hear how I said that, like, I struggle to eat the food? You want me to, like, now go and prepare, like, a whole new diet?
You
Like,
know,
I'm just trying to
honestly,
get food in."
here's the thing though, when we like you saying that to me, like I totally understand that because I
Yeah,
experienced that. But
yeah.
neurotypical people think that is the most bizarre thing and they do think that's an excuse. They literally think you're just making excuses because they cannot wrap
What do
their
you
head
mean
around
eating is
it.
hard? What do you mean, like, you
Because
can't think of
sometimes certain
food?
textures make me wanna gag the moment I touch them. Are you kidding? Like, that's why.
Yes,
Because my tummy feels like the
yes.
moment anything touches it, I'm going to roll over and die. Like, n n
You why? Like, trust me, I also find it to be very annoying.
right?
Like,
Like, my favorite food is sitting in front of me, and I'm just
yeah,
like, "Ugh,
yeah. I
not
wanna
excited for
eat.
this." Yeah.
I would like to not constantly be hungry, but if I could, like, think through getting the food and preparing the food and cleaning up after the foods, and we'd be in a whole different place. I could do so much more.
The people in the medical field need to have this and this is something I learned as a social worker. You need to have a general curiosity and trust of what the person's telling you because
Yes.
you can't assume you know everything. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so because I feel a certain way about something, that's my
Yeah.
bias. You know, that's my experience and I need to put myself in that person's shoes. So for a doctor to just look at you and be like, "Well, try this diet instead. I know you said you hate meat, but why don't you eat cheeseburgers every day?" Like it's not helpful. It's not helpful. Everyone's different.
Yeah. No, like, and yeah, it's a very difficult thing to understand. And, like, I, again, if you don't live it, I understand that you're not going to understand it. just try to believe it.
Just
That's
try to
all
believe it.
I
You don't
ask.
have to understand, and you don't have to find the logic between point A and point B to make it comfortable for you. Understanding doesn't mean comfortable. Sometimes it's uncomfortable and you just accept,
Yeah.
especially if your job is to service the public.
The amount of people who think that they have a better understanding of how bodies and how health works too, like, not the doctors. I mean, like, I assume the doctors have the good idea, but, like, barely. But, like, just the general public, like, they like to assume they know how bodies are supposed to work, and I'm like, "You know what? You would be absolutely horrified if you knew how bodies could end up working."
You know what's really good I heard turmeric. Have you tried it?
No, but I've been working through some yoga and
Oh,
drinking water.
I've
My
been
husband's
meditating
favorite thing.
more. I've been meditating more, and my nervous system is so relaxed.
Oh, good, meditation's just healing me. My husband's favorite joke every time I tell him, like, I have a headache or something hurts, he's like, "Have you tried drinking water?" And, like, the amount of times I've been like, "I'm gonna throw this water bottle in my hand," like, because he knows it's one of those things, like, and I'm like, "Times." And he's like, and I'm like, "But also, yeah, I'm dehydrated, so."
So, yeah, I will drink my water, but not because you said so.
Exactly. Because if we don't laugh and we don't joke about it,
It's a dark road the other way.
yeah, nope, gotta keep laughing at it.
You have to.
Inappropriate
You have
jokes for
to.
the win.
I cannot tell you, Randy, how many mornings that I wake up and I'm just a sobbing mess because I'm like, it's another day that I hurt. This is another day that I can't go out. This is another day,
Yeah,
and just the injustice of it, and the truth of disability does not discriminate. It doesn't care who you are. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you did right, did wrong. It will get you if it wants
my
to.
favorite fact and threat, disability can happen to anyone.
It can, and I hear so many people there because I'll say to them like, "Well, just don't get disabled," and they're like, "That's not gonna happen to me." I'm like, don't say
As
that."
well.
Right. I thought that as well, both my parents are, my dad's in his mid-70s, he's very active, very healthy. My grandparents lived well into their 90s, very active, so I was like, "I've got good genes, I'm gonna be fine."
It's just not the way.
No
It's
such
just
luck.
not the way. Let's talk about your business a little bit more. So
Yeah,
you
let's
do
talk
the
about something
Yeah,
happy me.
I know.
Yeah.
I was talking to my, like, little mastermind group the other day, and we were talking about how, like, we can take time, like, off from our businesses, but then, like, also we all kinda came back around to, like, the thing that we actually enjoy doing the most is working on our business, and I'm like, I wanna have other hobbies, but also I've got so many ideas, and I wanna do the things, and you do creative things, and I always thought that must be I do boring business stuff, and so and
Like,
I'm still like
listen, I love what you do though, because I feel like, especially for people like me, to organize myself, I need to do it the right way. Like, I just wrote down my little to do list today, and I have to write it down a certain way. I have to draw a little square, and then I write the thing, and then I make a space in between, and then I do the next one, and then I check it off as I go.
yeah,
If I do it any other way, that list is not getting done. I promise you. So, the visuals are so key, and I think it's amazing to have those tools because, like, I tell you what, I am so behind on doing my business expenses, it's not even funny, and I've been like, "Hey, does someone wanna help me do it? Because I pulling teeth for me. I'm fully capable, but my
yeah,
brain is like, "I don't want to, cannot compute."
the data entry stuff.
Having those tools are I think that's creative in itself to make difficult things easier. So, pat
Appreciate
yourself
it.
on the
Thank
back
you.
for
I like that way of approaching it, like, the creativity of making difficult things easier, I'm using that.
That's right, and I love that. I love it. I support it.
God, I love when these conversations are recorded.
You're like, "I'm gonna listen
When
to it
it
over and over."
I love listening back to these because there's so many times where, like, maybe I was thinking of the next thing that I was gonna say, and then I get to re-listen to it, I'm like, "Oh, man, that was a really good line," like,
Yeah.
"Go us," like,
Yeah,
"We're
right?
clever."
Whoop, whoop. Write that one down.
It's being saved for the reel.
So anyway,
Anyways, the creative jobs. Tell me about doing the creativity. How do you balance being creative with the business stuff? Because that part always sounds hard.
well, as I just said, I'm a little behind my expenses. So, like, when it comes to the
So it might not be
actual,
doing it.
yeah, keeping track of stuff, the actual data entry, plugging the numbers, like that stuff is still difficult for me. Like I do things to set myself up for success. Like I have my spreadsheets set up and I make them colorful for myself, and then I keep my tabs so that it's not like, oh my God, where did I put that thing? I can quickly find it. So and it's knowing what kind of energy I have. So I will really sit and assess myself and be like, okay, what is my headspace today? Where am I feel like am I physically well enough to be painting today? Okay, cool. Am I clear enough today to actually be able to sit and look at numbers? Am I able to research venues today? Like it's really just kind of slowing down and doing that check in to see, like, okay, I know I have this running to do list, but what can I actually handle today so I feel like I'm successful? Instead of beating yourself up for making yourself do the things that you can't do in that moment, because what's the point in that? And I know sometimes when you are performing at a job, you have to crank out and do things that you're not prepared to do at that moment. But when you have a business, you kind of have that flexibility of like, I'm in this headspace today, I'm in this headspace today. And knowing what time of day works for you, like I know for me
Yes.
in the morning, early afternoon, that's like my prime time. When it comes to like late afternoon, later in the day, don't expect anything from me.
Yeah. Yeah, samesies. If I don't get the, like, really productive stuff done first, and, like, right now I'm really trying to focus on, my exercise and or walking comes first, because if I'm going to use the most energies that I have on anything, it should be my health.
Yeah. Yep.
Sometimes it's not because I get dragged into my business and I love it, but
Right. And that's it too. Like you were saying, like, but doing the business stuff is fun. Like it's true. Like, setting up your stuff and sending out the promos or like making
yeah.
any of the images for your website or
Yeah.
networking, like ordering supplies. Like it is
Yeah.
fun. It is fun.
Oh my gosh, I love working on my website. It's so much fun.
Do you wanna do mine? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, but that's another thing that's hard for me too, like, I keep up with
I actually like
you, but
I don't know how web designers do it professionally. Like I think like to be a web designer, you must be the most tolerant person because websites, like
my
no
husband
matter
is.
what you deal with, like they just bugs. Just always. They glitch, they have bugs, they just I don't know. I was pretty sure for a while mine had a literal gremlin. That would just like come in out of nowhere,
Just
all of a
trying to get
sudden
ya.
any emoji that was on my site got really big and, like, took up an entire, like, screen.
That's funny. So that's actually
Still haven't figured out why, just had to delete all the
well, this
emojis.
explains why my husband's so patient because that's what he does for a living.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't, like
Yeah.
I love working on mine, and I can deal with the issues for mine because I can walk away from mine. But if I had to do it for somebody else, oh,
Yeah, no, I'm
yeah,
an artist for a reason, I can't be doing that stuff.
yeah. Yeah, I'm a writer by, like I like that's what I like is doing the, like, writing and the designing. When it starts getting really techy, like, most of it's not so much anymore, like, if you do the coding and everything, you can get into all that, but if you really just wanna build a basic website, you don't have to get that techy anymore.
No,
There's
no,
so many things out there, and even if you wanna use, like, WordPress, which is generally considered to be more difficult, it's still actually
it's not
very
that
easy. I figured it out.
You're like, "I
And I
can do
just
it."
if I can do it. So far, I haven't found a software or a technology that I couldn't figure out when I tried. Some that I didn't figure out because I didn't try because they looked annoying.
Right?
But if I wanna try,
You're like, "That
there's
was
nothing I haven't found.
interesting. I'm all set. Thank
Yeah.
you."
Yeah. So when you started, so the pet portraits, that's probably fairly like low tech, low like
Watercolor.
complications on things. Yeah, so like that's lovely. And then what are the other things that you make?
So I also do stickers, which typically begin as a painting, and then I will scan the image, and then I'll add like fun text to it or whatever, and then go to a sticker company, print it out. So I have stickers and prints as well, and
So
those
I was
are
wondering
more
who do
like
you
go
who
ahead.
do you use? How do you produce yours?
So I will make an image. So say the image was a cow. Okay, so I paint a cow, whatever. I'll take a picture of it. I'll go into Canva, remove the background so it's just the cow,
Yeah,
right? And then if I want to put something
love
in
Canva.
there like move, whatever, put in the font, right? And then you go to a website, which they have a ton out
Who are you
there.
using?
I use Sticker app.
Sticker app?
Go to
I like
Sticker
learning
app.
about the different ones. The people
There's
the
so many.
I
Just
like getting the
my favorite.
opinions on the different ones.
Yes. And you upload your image there and you can do, if you want a circle or square or die cut, which means outlined right around the image. Yeah, that's how I do it.
That's really cool. So simple.
Be
It
simple,
is just
yeah.
yeah, right? Like it's so if you want to have a business these days, realistically, all you need is a computer
I mean,
and
to be
access to the
honest,
internet. If
when
you want to get a little fancier, but
when I started my business, I didn't even have a laptop. I was using my phone and a beat up old tablet. That's how I started my business.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, you can get fancy about it, but there really doesn't need to be a huge barrier to starting your own business these days. And that's one of the things that, like, I'm really trying to change the view of it. Because there are still so many people out there, like, charging thousands and thousands of dollars for their, like, knowledge. And like for their products and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't love that. Like, I feel like we all are just trying to survive capitalism and none of us want to be doing it. Um, we just want to stay at home and be able to take care of our health and run our little businesses. And so like that's why I try to like talk to as many people and get like the views on how people are doing it so that hopefully somebody else might watch this and be like, wow, that did sound really easy. Just look up stick around.
Yeah, no,
And
it's
then
so doable. I mean, if you are creative and if you're not going to be stealing from other people, making your own images, having clever text, and finding your niche, you know what I mean? So like my stickers kind of started when um I was looking for a spoonie sticker for myself and I was looking all over Etsy and whatever and I couldn't find one I really loved and so I was like, what if I just made my own? And then it just kind of went from there where I was like, oh, this is cool. This is fun. This is kind of addicting actually. I love it when my new stickers come in. I get so
that's
excited.
so fun. Do you send them in and then do you get like a shipment of them that you have to send out or do they do the
No, they just come directly
fulfilling?
to me and then I sell them at
Okay.
fairs or whatever, or if anyone
Oh
purchases
yeah.
online. Yeah, they come directly.
How's doing the fairs? That sounds fun.
I love it, honestly. It's a long day, it's exhausting, and
Yeah, I bet.
obviously, given my condition, I have to have at least 1 or 2 people with me to help. But that's
Yeah.
definitely where I have a lot of success is, at the
Oh, that's
fairs.
lovely.
Yeah,
Who
so
usually joins you?
my husband, or my girlfriend, Rora, she's good about helping
Nice.
do things too, yeah.
That's so lovely. I always thought doing the fairs and stuff would be so fun, but
It is fun, and
I
you
don't
meet
sell
really nice
physical
people.
products, so
Well, you don't necessarily have to.
yes
You
and no. I mean, most of the fairs that we have around here are physical product based. So
Gotcha.
I mean, the ones that we have here,
So, just for
but
advice, if you do decide you would like to try a fair, this is what I would advise. I would advise putting together some kind of sample gift basket and having a raffle of your items, okay? So that way people come in, are familiar with you, get your business card, whatever, and then you get some
smart.
money from the raffle. And then the other thing, because think about it, I do pet portraits. People are sending me pictures
Yeah.
of their pets and I'm giving it to them later. No one's really taking anything
Yeah.
from me. So I have a raffle going always, and I have order forms. I'm like, hey, if
Smart.
you order with me today, you get 10% off, but you need to fill out this form and
Love
pay me
that.
right now. So you could do that too. You're like, hey, I have this cozy business pack, 15% off if you
Yeah.
paper today, whatever it is. Or hey, sign up for my email list. That's a way you can have a booth without having actual things.
That's smart.
You're welcome.
Clever. You're clever. I love
One
it.
moment.
This community, we're so just creative and clever, and everyone comes up with like the way that we find to like adapt to different things is
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah. Well, and
freaking
it's finding
inspiring.
finding the way to get that exposure because like
Yeah.
the fair's definitely a great exposure for me, especially because I'm a very interactive, bubbly person. It works out well, but also I'm very active on my social media, like I said, like being
Yeah.
active on Instagram and TikTok and making time. So many people have pages for their pets, which is like silly but cute, whatever. So like I'll be like, "You're so cute! Oh my gosh!" and then you got to do it. I like doing the old fashioned networking.
Yeah. The being social on social media.
Well, I'm a small business. I
Yeah.
am my business. I am the face of my
Yeah.
business. I need to be likable. So I'm gonna do my best to be likable so that you remember
Yeah.
me, so that you're like, "Oh yeah, I want a pet portrait from JJ or Jessie," Like,
Yeah. I love that. So fun. Jessie, thank you so much for coming on my podcast. This has been
"You're
so
welcome.
fantastic.
Huey, you did so great the whole time, buddy. You did so great." He just had to. He's like, "Wait,
Nobody's heard me yet.
I have something to say."
Just before. Um, Give me the lowdown on where everybody can find you.
So I would say the easiest thing is go to Instagram. There's a couple of places you can find me. So if you want to see anything related to mental health or chronic illness, you're going to want to go to Pretty Rude JJ. That is the same handle on TikTok. Like I said, I'm very active on there as well. And then if you're interested in the pet portraits, it's positive PAWSITIVE portraits by JJ. Instagram and TikTok. And if you go to my Instagram page, I have all my links there for my shops and everything else. But you can always just message me and I will help you.
Yes, love it. And you gotta go put your stuff up on my directory.
Yes.
So
Yes,
fun.
that needs to happen.
And now you can add pictures, and I'm so excited.
That's really cool. So, I need to put that
Isn't
on my
it?
to-do list with the checkbox.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. It was so much fun talking to you. I
Thanks for
love
having me. This
doing
was
these
great.
things. Yes. I will make sure that I link all of those things down below. So please go check out JJ and all of her amazing creations. And if you want to be a guest on my podcast, I will drop all that information down there below. Do the like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.